no matter what we do, we are going to be forgiven.
If you accept Jesus as your
Yes,
Savior.
if you accept Jesus, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. So you said at 33 years old, you're still a Christian?
Yes,
you were
yes.
still a Christian?
33 years old, I was still a Christian until I was in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Okay.
And then I saw a guy, because at the time I liked clothes very much. I liked to dress very nice. And so when I looked up and I saw what I saw, the most beautiful thing I ever saw, it was a guy walking down the street in an all-white robe handing out papers. I didn't know what he was handing out, but I knew this guy was a Muslim because I'd seen the story of Malcolm X where he was at the Hajj and people were dressed like this guy.
Okay.
So anyways, when he reached me, I greeted him, Salaam Alaikum, which is peace be upon you.
Oh, really?
And he greeted me back, and he was surprised that I was dressed the way I was dressed because he thought I was a Muslim. He asked me, are you a Muslim? I said, I'm not a Muslim, but I know about Islam.
You were dressed
I was dressed in a pair of shorts. I had no shirt on, and I was very, very, you know, like a big, strong guy. So, you know, and he asked me how come I was dressed like that. I said, because the ladies, they like to look at a strong man.
Yeah.
So he told me, well, Allah made two creations. The animals, they don't wear clothes, and the people do. So at that time, then I didn't want to talk to him no more because he said something I didn't like. So, but anyways, I bid him a farewell, and then I saw him about 6 or 7 different times before I finally decided to go visit him at the mosque one day.
Okay.
And that was the day that I went to the mosque to visit him. And when I went into the mosque, I noticed that the people had taken off their shoes, so I took off my shoes. And there were 3 people. There was him, and there were 2 other people.
Okay.
So I walked up the back of him, and I tapped him on the shoulder, and I said, what do I have to do to become a Muslim?
Okay.
The 2 other guys that were sitting there, they closed the Qurans they were reading because they were very surprised. Because now I know that they've never seen anybody become a Muslim before.
Yeah.
So the guy, he told me, well, you have to take the Shahada. And the Shahada is the declaration of faith.
Yeah.
Right? And I said, well, what is that? So he's told me, it's to bear witness that there is none worthy of worship except Allah alone without any partner. Okay. And to bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Yeah. And that Jesus was the messenger of Allah. And that Moses, and you know, to accept that all the prophets are from the Creator. Right. So when I did that, he said, okay, you're a Muslim now. So I said, okay, I want to get one of these outfits you have on. Yeah. He said, oh, that's going to take me a few days. So then one of the guys that was sitting there did something I thought was very strange, but I knew it was very important to him. He said to me, my brother, please, whenever you go to the washroom, sit down. And I said, oh, okay. I didn't realize, but the way he said it to me, it seemed so important to him.
But he said it right away.
Yeah, he said it right away. But in hindsight, later on, I know now that he wanted to get in on this hasanah, this blessing that he was witnessing. Because
but still, he should taught you something more important.
He could have told me. He could have told me something else, but he knew right away that this is something that. And then it wasn't until sometime later, about 8 or 9 months later, I was reading what is known as a hadith, which is one of the sayings of the Prophet, where he was walking by the grave, and he said, in this grave there are 2 men being punished. One by the way he used to backbite, and the other one by the way he used to urinate. Yeah. And in my mind I thought about that guy who told me to sit down. Yeah. And I said, wow, this guy will know on the day of judgment how important that was that he told me. So this is very beautiful.
And you became a Muslim since?
Yes, I became a Muslim, and then I went to Ottawa because in Vancouver, where I took the Shahada, everybody was in a hurry to do nothing. Nobody took the time to teach me. Okay. And at that time, I still associated Islam with Arabs. Okay. So I said, okay, I will go to Ottawa because I know in Ottawa there's embassies and there's a lot of Arabs. Yeah. So my intention for going from Vancouver to Ottawa was to learn about Islam. Yeah. So when I got there, I stayed with my brother who was a Christian, but he used to drink the alcohol. So after a while, I knew I couldn't live with him. So I went to the Salvation Army, which was a place where men who don't have a place to stay can go. But almost the second day I was there, I went to the mosque, and I met a guy at the mosque, and he said, where do you live at? And I told him I stay at the Salvation Army. He said, okay, you come and live with me. Okay. I said, yeah, sure. I just thought he was just saying that this to some. So at the end of the night, when I was getting ready to go back to the Salvation Army, he said, okay, come with me. I said, what do you mean? He said, you told me you need a place to stay. Yeah. And remember, my brother, I was leave Vancouver to go to Ottawa to learn about Islam. Yeah. I come to learn that this man, he was staying in the house that was owned by the Islamic Information Center. Okay. So I was in the exact place I wanted to be. Yeah. There is no such thing as a coincidence. If it is written by Allah, which in Arabic is maktub, it will happen, and that's what happened to me.
And you learned there?
I learned so much there. Yeah. I learned about what the hadith was, what the salat was. I learned almost everything about Islam because there was people every day used to see me do something wrong, and they would say, brother, there's a hadith. Then they say, brother, there's a hadith. So after about 4 or 5 times, I said, you always tell me I'm doing something wrong, and you say there's a hadith. I said, what is a hadith?
Yeah.
He said, hadith is what the Prophet said, what he done, or what he approved of.
Yeah.
I said, okay, where would I find him? And he pointed to a wall full of books.
Yeah.
And he said, you see that? He said, they are all hadith.
Yeah.
If you read that, you will read the life of the Prophet Muhammad. So,
And you read?
Oh, I read, because then after a while, I learned through reading that the first revelation given to the unlettered Prophet was to read, Iqra. Yeah, to read. So reading became very important to me.
MashaAllah. And your family became Muslim or
No,
not?
my mother,
She became Muslim?
yes, on her deathbed, when my mother was dying, she was, because I used to tell her all the time about Islam. For 11 years before I died, she knew I was a Muslim, and she saw the change in me, and she respected. So much so that one day she asked me to go to the store for her, because I know that the Prophet Muhammad said 3 times, your mother, your mother, your mother. She's so important, and Allah tells you to give respect to the womb who bore you. But one day my mother asked me to go to the store for her, but she wanted pork. So I had to call one of the men of knowledge in that area, and I told him what happened. I said, my mother wants me to go get pork. Can I do it? He said, no, tell her the situation. Tell her, Mom, I can get you anything other than that, because that's and she understood. She thought that was so beautiful.
Yeah.
She thought that was so beautiful.
Yeah.
But Allah made her wait until on her deathbed, because because the man she was married to, right, she could not be with him if she become a Muslim.
Yeah.
But I don't think like this. Allah knows, I know not.
Yeah.
So Allah waited until she could not go back to that man, and He gave her guidance to Islam just before she died. Because after she took the Shahada, 3 hours later she was dead.
Wow, 3 hours later?
3 hours later she was dead.
She became Muslim and she said Shahada?
Yeah.
And 3 hours later?
3 hours later she was dead.
Really?
Yes.
La ilaha illallah.
La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah.
So, she became a Muslim? No, really, I'm really surprised. I never heard this.
Yeah.
After 3 hours of becoming Muslim?
Yeah, 3 hours after my mother became
So inshallah, if God accepted her,
Ameen.
She has no sins. Because anyone who became Muslim, he doesn't have any sins. He starts over.
Yes.
So she became Muslim, and 3 hours she died.
She'll be raised on the Day of Judgment 3 hours old.
Wow.
And more importantly, see, listen. I plan, Allah plans, and Allah is the best planner. Because I wanted my mother to take the Shahada as soon as I asked her for the first time. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I plan, Allah plans, and Allah is the best planner.
No, this is very beautiful.
So this is the most beautiful thing. And now,
how old was she when she died?
Oh, she was 73.
MashaAllah.
She was 73.
I asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to get you together in the family.
Ameen. So I make dua for her as much as I can, and I ask for very beautiful things for her. I ask Allah to give her the reward of every Hajj ever accepted. You can ask Allah for big things. People don't understand this. That you ask Allah for big things. You ask the Ben Adam, which is the human being, for little things. But you ask your Creator for big things. I ask Allah to give my mother the reward for every good I do. I ask my mother, Allah to give my mother the reward for every Hajj ever accepted. I ask my mother for big things. Allah for big things.
When she became Muslim in these 3 hours, did she had the chance to pray or
no, because she was still in a semi-coma.
Okay.
She was in a semi-coma, but she said, La ilaha illallah. I said, Mom, because I come in, her eyes were closed when I come into and I asked everybody else to please leave. Because nobody else, they would say, oh, they were doing nothing for her. But I had went home and I took a shower, I made wudu, and I prayed two rakah to Allah, and then I come to visit my mother, and I asked everyone to leave, and I said, Mom, time is this time, because the doctors already told me she's not leaving the hospital. So I said, Mom, soon you will meet your Creator. I said, you know who this is? She said, yes. I said, who is it? She said, it's Jerry. I said, okay, Mom, listen. You should take the Shahada. I said, repeat after me. I said, La ilaha illallah. She said, La ilaha illallah. I said, Muhammad Rasulullah. She said, Muhammad Rasulullah. I kissed her. I said, Mom, you are a Muslim. And I left.
Alhamdulillah. That's very good. That's
very beautiful.
Alhamdulillah.
Now it's for me to make a Hajj for her, because I've been to the Hajj once for myself, and now the brothers there told me that you should make a Hajj for your mother.
Did you do that?
No, I will do that inshallah in the next year or so.
Yeah. Hajj is a pilgrimage, if you don't know what Hajj
yes,
means.
the pilgrimage to the host that Abraham built with his son Ishmael. You know, so I will have the intention to do that.
Perfect, man. And you've been Muslim. So if you became Muslim 19,
I am 19 years now. I have been Muslim.
19 years or 20 years.
19 years, yeah.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
Now it's 2011.
Yeah.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah. And
1992 I became a Muslim. So next year it will be 20 years that I have been a Muslim.
Alhamdulillah. And you're traveling all over Canada to make da'wah, which is to convey the message of Islam.
You know,
because now we're in Newfoundland.
Yes.
And he came all the way from Halifax just to go to the downtown and to go to some cities around St. John's, just to call people to Islam.
To tell people
that's what
about
you
Islam.
came here.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that was our intention. And I read from the 143rd ayah of Baqarah, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that a big responsibility is placed upon us to convey the message to the people.
So this is your question in this life.
Yes.
You wanna.
Yes. You know, like why? Because we are messengers of the messenger. Because the Prophet Muhammad, he said in his last khutbah to take this message to those who could not be here. So even though my knowledge is very, 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 very small, what little I know, I will try and tell somebody, and then I will give them the name, the number of somebody, or the website of somebody where they can go get bigger knowledge from a scholar or an alim.
Perfect. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. It's very interesting. It's very nice. I want you to give a message to the Christians before we finish. Do you have any message to any Christian or anyone who's not Muslim who's watching the video?
My message is very simple, that we must humble yourself. You must humble yourself to your Creator, because Allah is the one who gives life and Allah is the one who gives death. And in between life and death, you have a big chance to understand a purpose for being here. We are here for a reason, right? We are here to worship our Creator, to be good to our family, to be honest to people, to not to lie, to not to cheat. All the good things you teach your children is what Islam is.
Thank you very much for giving me this time to make the interview with you.
Thank you, my brother, and I hope that that inshallah, that on the Day of Judgment I get some reward somewhere. If one of your viewers say subhanallah, then maybe I will get the reward for that subhanallah, and may Allah reward you for conveying this message to the people.